Hey, what's up, guys? What's happening? Good morning, everybody. You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels. Today is Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about in today's video. We're going to be talking about how the markets, as well as the crypto markets, closed yesterday following Jay Powell and the Fed's 25 basis point hike, which is kind of what we were expecting. I saw, I don't know if it was the Wall Street Journal, somebody had an article on the Great Reclamation. So we often talk about, the Great Resignation, quiet quitting, all these kind of terms and kind of, I don't want to say fake narratives because these are real things, but the media has to create a narrative around every single thing happening and create like a buzzword for it. So now they're calling something the Great Reclamation, which is with the economy turning, with layoffs, starting to get into full swing. They say companies and employers are taking back their power. We're going to be talking about layoffs. A lot of the job platforms are laying people off. We got Indeed laying off 2,200 workers. Glassdoor, which is another job site, laid off 150 workers. And I believe there was one more employment website, jobs website, that just laid off a bunch of people. Looks like there's a big attack going on with crypto. Coinbase was issued something, I believe it's called a Warren letter, and this is typically issued to companies before there's SEC enforcement. Also yesterday, the SEC went after a number of celebrities, including Lindsay Lohan, Jake Paul, a number of rappers and other people. We'll kind of talk about everybody involved, but they're all paying a $400,000 fine for promoting security. CNBC had an article, they're predicting Bitcoin's going to $100,000, according to a number of industry experts. The Camaro's being discontinued, and Panera Bread is rolling out a palm print payment system. That's a little bit creepy. I don't really like that. Somewhat of a, I guess it wasn't a slow news day yesterday. I'm going to try to move through today's video pretty quickly. Before we jump on into things, shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Refersion, Refersion.com. Link will be in the description box below. If you are an affiliate marketer yourself, we're going to talk about why Refersion could benefit you. And if you have a Shopify store, a BigCommerce store, a WooCommerce store, you sell a product, you have a business, Refersion can also help you out as well. Refersion is a fully comprehensive affiliate management platform. So if you are an affiliate yourself and you're looking for different affiliate programs to join, rather than randomly looking at a bunch of websites' footers to see if they offer an affiliate program, or rather than randomly Googling, affiliate program for gold coins or whatever, you can head on over to Refersion.com. They have an affiliate network similar to like CJ.com, CommissionJunction.com. You can kind of search and browse all different niches, all different industries. You can search products, and you can find affiliate programs that may appeal to your audience. Another thing I really like about Refersion from the angle of being an affiliate is you have one login and you can access all your affiliate programs that you use that use Refersion to manage their programs. On the flip side, if you have a Shopify store, influencer marketing is kind of dead. I shouldn't say it's dead. Influencer marketing, for the most part, is no longer profitable. For a lot of companies, it was never profitable. They just never really knew how to determine if there was an ROI on their influencer marketing. With where the economy is heading, the days of companies paying somebody with 15,000 Instagram subscribers $3,000 for a post that stays up for 24 hours and that they really have no idea how much business that's driving, those days are gone. The companies who are going to be successful are going to be the companies who turn their influencers into affiliates, or who at the very least maybe pay a small base rate and make the rest performance-based. So with Refersion, you can have your affiliate program application on your website. People can sign up. You can approve them. You can pay everybody out with one click at the end of the month. You can track sales. People can create unique links to different product pages on your website. So check out Refersion.com, whether you are an affiliate or a e-commerce business owner. Link will be in the description box below. Let's talk about how the markets closed yesterday. Following Jay Powell's rate hike, the 25 basis point rate hike was kind of to be expected. That was, odds were kind of pointing that was going to be the case. There was a small chance of a 50 basis point hike, and also a small chance of no rate hike at all. We had talked about how the European Central Bank, was it Kathleen LaGuardia, whatever her name is, she had actually hiked rates for the European Central Bank 50 basis points, even though they're dealing with the Credit Suisse meltdown. So it was kind of expected Jay Powell was going to hike rates as well. So yesterday, the Dow finished down 530 points. Nasdaq finished down 2%. S&P 500 finished down 1.65%. Most top cryptos were down about 2 to 5%. Bitcoin, at the time that I looked last night, was trading at $27,330. Ethereum trading at $1,739. Again, the Fed rate hiked 25 basis points. They basically have a choice to either stop inflation or to save banks and save the market. They kind of took a middle ground with their 25 basis point hike, which kind of ultimately did nothing but still fucked up both of those things. And Elizabeth Warren has been heavily criticizing Jay Powell and the Fed, saying they shouldn't raise interest rates. It's going to cost 2 million jobs. Not sure how they plan on bringing down inflation without raising interest rates. Elizabeth Warren says that there's other issues causing inflation. She refers to, quote unquote, Putin's war, even though the Democrats in her party are the ones kind of cheering on this war. Russia had said they're open to a ceasefire or open to peace talks. Ukraine had said the same thing. But the U.S. is like the kid in the schoolyard cheering fight, 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 who wants to be entertained or has something to gain by a fight happening. So the U.S. does not want peace between Russia and Ukraine. So it's kind of funny that Elizabeth Warren is saying that the war in Ukraine is causing inflation. Yet at the same time, she and her party don't seem interested in stopping the war in Ukraine. She also said COVID supply chain issues are still causing inflation. Again, she was a big kind of advocate of lockdowns and shut down businesses, and we have to stop COVID. I always mean not to say that word and say the Mexican beer cough. But she was kind of one of these people pushing for the Mexican beer cough, fear mongering to kind of go on forever. And after 2 or 3 years of that, it's fucked up the economy pretty badly. And then she also talks about price gouging. I think price gouging isn't necessarily the biggest issue causing inflation. And really, what's the solution? Are you going to put in price controls, which causes more problems than it solves? So it's kind of expected that with this rate hike, we're going to wind up losing 2 million jobs. They're believing that inflation is going to go over 4%, but will stay under 5%. I think during the Great Recession 2008, I want to say unemployment was at about 5.7%. I think inflation is going to I think unemployment is probably going to touch that again, potentially going up to 7%. And it's kind of interesting. Jay Powell seems to be kind of done with pushing the narrative that we could have a soft landing. When he spoke yesterday, he essentially kind of poo-pooed the idea of the soft landing, and kind of is starting to warm to the messaging that a recession is pretty much inevitable at this point. Jay Powell went on to say inflation is high and we will do whatever it takes to bring it down. Okay, sorry, my notes are kind of scrambled here. Okay, so I think we had, my notes are all scrambled here. So we had talked about, I forget the term, the Great Reclamation. So I've seen a number of articles talking about the Great Reclamation, and one quote that we have from one of the articles is, management experts told Insider the tug of war over issues like pay, working from home, and even buzzy ideas like quiet quitting has ushered in a paradigm in which fewer maneuvers appear out of bounds for companies. Let's see. No, we had that in there twice. Okay, my notes are all screwed up here. Let's see. Let's just kind of move on. Okay, so CNBC had a piece either yesterday or today. The Fed indicates increases are near an end. So we've kind of talked about how everybody has been wanting to fight the Fed, right? I'm sure you have all heard the phrase "don't fight the Fed," which means if the Fed's printing money, go long in the market, invest in the market. If the Fed's trying to tank the economy, trying to crash the economy, get out of the market or short the market. But what you don't do is fight the Fed. And we've seen most individuals, most markets, most talking heads on TV continue to fight the Fed. They want to believe that a Fed pivot is around the corner, and Jay Powell has consistently said again and again and again that is not happening. Here's kind of one scenario on how things could play out. Companies with increased work from home reduce their office leases. Commercial real estate crashes. Commercial plumbers, electricians, and builders struggle. Landlords default on commercial loans. Banks too big to fail will tumble and be bailed out by taxpayers. And then the Fed lowers interest rates to show that they're doing something to try to fix the economy. Okay, let's talk layoffs. So here's some layoffs that we have from the past 24, 48 hours. Indeed, the job platform has laid off 2,200 employees. That's 15% of their staff. There was an interesting article yesterday. A former Meta recruiter had talked about how she was paid nearly $200,000 to do nothing. And there's a lot of bloat in these tech companies. Yeah, it looks bad when Google lays off 12,000 people by email. Amazon lays off 10 or 12,000 people, and then just a month or two later lays off another 10,000 people. Facebook lays off 11,000. A couple months later lays off another 10,000. It looks bad, but if you look at the amount of growth in these companies from, especially going back to like 2012, 2014, but even from 2017, 2018 to 2022, these companies grew 30,000 employees, 40,000 employees. Some of these companies grew like 50%. And so there were a lot of people who literally were hired and paid big money to do absolutely nothing. We'd recently talked about how GM was going to fire like the majority of their 68,000 white-collar office workers, and it makes you question, if you're able to fire 60,000 people out of, say, like 68,000 people and still remain operational, what were you doing with all this bloat in the first place? So even though there's a lot of layoffs happening, we're still not even going to be back to like 2020 levels of employment, even if we have another round of 10,000 layoffs from a lot of these companies. What else do we got? Roofstock, a company valued at $2 billion, lays off 27% of their staff. Glassdoor lays off 140 employees, 15% of the company. Just Eat, a UK takeaway service, I believe it's kind of like Grubhub, recently laid off 1,700 employees. Marvel laid off 320 employees. Workhuman laid off 130 employees, and FreshBooks laid off 80 employees. Okay, so the SEC is, I guess, kind of the entire government is attacking crypto. A lot of people look at some of the recent banking shutdowns and FDIC takeovers as an attack on crypto. It's kind of interesting that two of those banks were essentially crypto banks, and SVB, even though it wasn't a crypto bank, did business and banked a lot of crypto companies. So a lot of people viewed that as an attack on crypto. Now we have the SEC has apparently issued Coinbase something called a Warren letter. Sent Coinbase's stock down almost 20% yesterday. I'll be curious to see where it opens up today. At one point yesterday, Coinbase's stock was trading at $84. In after hours, it was trading as low as $64. Apparently, the SEC takes issue with Coinbase Earn, which is, I believe, that program where you can watch a couple videos, answer questions about a coin, and get some free tokens. They also have an issue with Coinbase Wallet. If Coinbase is engaging in illegal securities, I would imagine every other exchange is as well. So it's kind of interesting how government regulators kind of often pick one company to attack and kind of ignore everybody else. Kind of reminds me of Juul. Remember when like Juul was under attack? Oh, Juul's trying to sell vapes to kids. Even though Juul never really did flavors. I mean, they had a menthol, which isn't really even a flavor. And I think they had a mango that you could only buy online. You couldn't even buy it in gas stations. Yet any gas station I walk into, I see like cotton candy, rainbow unicorn in a colorful, like, really kind of like sleek, vape that looks like a set of like iPods. It's kind of funny that the government doesn't go after those companies, but they vilify Juul as being this evil company for marketing their product to kids. And we kind of see the same thing with Coinbase, where government's going after Coinbase, even though there's a million other exchanges who I would say aren't as conservative as Coinbase in terms of how they run their company. Let's see, there's another enforcement action by the SEC. Securities and Exchange Commission on Wednesday unveiled fraud and unregistered securities charges against Tronix crypto founder and Grenadian diplomat Justin Sun, as well as separate charges against celebrity backers of his Tron and BitTorrent crypto assets, which included Soulja Boy, Lindsay Lohan, Jake Paul, and actress Lindsay Lohan, social media personality Jake Paul, musician Andre Cortez Way, also known as Soulja Boy, musician Austin Mahone, adult actress Michelle Mason, known as Kendra Lust, and musicians Miles Parks McCollum, known as Little Yachty, musician Schaefer Smith, also known as Neo, musician Alian Thiem, also known as Akon. All parties agreed to a collective $400,000 fine. That's kind of chump change. I'm sure they made like 20 times that, marketing these programs. CNBC, Bitcoin at $100,000, question mark. Insiders say the cryptocurrency could test new highs this year. People are happy with how Bitcoin has performed amidst inflation, declining stocks, and recent bank turmoil. We talked in a video yesterday or 2 days ago about how Bitcoin and crypto as a whole may be decoupling from the stock market. Marshall Beard, a chief strategy officer at U.S. headquartered cryptocurrency exchange Gemini, said $100,000 could easily be a possibility for Bitcoin. And in just the past month, Bitcoin's up about 23%. Chevy came out and said that the Chevy Camaro, as you know it, will fall out of production next year. GM says General Motors will end production of the Chevy Camaro in its current form early next year as it transitions to all-electric vehicles. Although I believe they did make some comment alluding to the fact that this wouldn't be the end of the Camaro story. I knew these car, I'm not a fan of going to all electric. I would never buy an all electric car. I'd consider a hybrid, but just the range seems to be a problem with all electric. And it's kind of crazy how all these companies think they're going to be all electric by 2024 or 2030, whatever they're trying to do. Panera debuts a system that allows you to pay with your palm print. They're actually going to be using an Amazon system called Amazon One. That's kind of creepy. I have no interest in that. Let me know about you guys. The military recently came out and said diagnoses of myocarditis, a form of heart inflammation, jumped 130% in 2021 when compared to the average from the years of 2016 to 2020, according to data from the Defense Medical Epidemiology Database. We won't get into why that is, but I'm sure we all know why that is. And apparently city of Philadelphia is paying women to get pregnant. Expectant mothers will be entitled to $1,000 a month with no strings attached amid falling fertility rates and rising baby deaths. So that's kind of the video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, love to hear your thoughts, comments, and opinions. Excuse me, on anything and everything we've discussed today, so go ahead and drop those down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to check out the sponsor of today's video, Refersion.com. Link in the description box below if you are an affiliate marketer yourself or if you have an e-commerce business. Anyhow, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. As always, I look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow, and that's it. Peace. I'm out.